Hey y'all, so if you don't know, my name is Tanisha, but you can just call me Nisha. I'm pretty new to YouTube and I am doing a variety of things on my channel. So if you like fashion, if you like outfits of the day, and if you also like movie reviews, movie recommends, and now my new segment of my I Study TV portion, which is going to be called My Personal Opinion on Characters on Popular TV Shows and Movies, then stay tuned and go ahead and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this very first episode of my opinion of characters on popular TV shows and movies. I want to talk about Shogun. So Shogun has exploded on the scene. It's an FX TV show, and I'm not going to get into all of the details of the backstory, the production, and all of that, but I do want to talk about what I feel about some of the characters on this TV show. And the character that I have an unpopular, possibly opinion about today is John Blackthorne. I'm just gonna keep it real and let you know that I'm really not too impressed with his character. I feel like he has escalated into his place and station too quickly and really hasn't proven himself enough. John Blackthorne shows up in Japan. He is pretty much been in these like battles with the Portuguese, and it is due to religious beliefs and differences. Portuguese are Catholic and he is a Protestant, and so there's some conflict going on within Europe, and we know all about that. Anyway, so he makes it on over to Japan. A particular clan is in this power grab after one of its previous leaders has passed away. And so you have this high council of leaders who is now trying to work against Tornago, who is currently in power and running things. But my whole issue with John Blackthorne is that he doesn't really give us anything. He is not really showing us that he is either one, skilled and really, intelligent and intellectual, knows how to play the game. It's more like he's just in survival mode, and a lot of things are occurring because of happenstance. It just so happened that there was this turmoil that was going on when he arrived on shore. It just so happened that he lost his crew and his ship. It just so happened that he was in prison, but decided to be used as a weapon to kind of cause division by Tornago, who is being pursued by the High Council, who's trying to have him ousted. And so his need to survive and get out of this situation is causing him to make choices, but it's not really based on anything that he's doing that is highly skilled or technical. He doesn't really have anything to offer, kind of at a loss. But you quickly see him rise to become a Hatamato, or the guest of Tornaga, because he is able to prevent them from being pretty much under siege when they make shore. So they get through the port. But really the truth of that is he didn't really even do that, because it was his Portuguese acquaintance that he met who allowed him to have leeway to go ahead and get through the port. And yes, it was a favor owed because he did save his life. Not technically, he didn't really save his life, but he fought for his life to be saved in one of the previous episodes. So the Portuguese guy was kind of like basically doing him a favor. And then sadly, the only thing that he really truly has to offer after he becomes a Hatamoto, who he's supposed to train the warriors of this clan, is cannons. Technically, they're impressed by what the cannons itself can do, more so than the skill that it really takes to shoot a cannon. That's just my personal opinion. I just feel like he's not really doing anything to be this hero. He's kind of more of a hero of happenstance. So be in the right place at the right time, do something impulsive that tends to work out in his favor. I really don't understand the whole love scene between him and Marty Cole, because again, this is a woman of high station and education, intellect, regard, and I didn't really understand her need to want to do that with him, especially when I was already making fun of him and talking about how dirty he was and how unclean he was. I really didn't understand that. Now, the real person that I am truly invested in this show and watching this show to see how their story develops and how their character rises to the occasion is Usama Fuji. Now, she is the one who has lost everything but has everything to gain. She is either going to be the supervillain or superhero, or maybe a little bit of both. She is probably the most interesting person who has the most interesting story on this show to me. And so I'm watching specifically to see her rise or fall, her demise or her escalation, based on how things work out with this series. But other than that, John Blackthorne, I'm not really impressed. I'm not really feeling him. He is probably supposed to be the main centralized character who this story is developed around, and a lot of the perspective is centered around. And I just feel like he is very mediocre. Now, may he rise to the occasion over time? Possibly. We'll get to see, but we're already in episode 4, and the only thing he was able to do was shoot a cannon. So I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think about John Blackthorne, and who so far is your favorite character on this series?